Okay, but I won't be sharing more deep stuff, right? More deep stuff in what in demand and supply. So I'll just be sharing the basics, the things that you need to know when you're training demand and supply. But when you want to know the basics, the deep stuff of what of demand and supply, then you can what you can join us in the mentorship. Okay, so I won't be sharing all of the stuff, but believe me, right? Believe me, after this Zoom meeting, this Zoom meeting, you will know exactly what to look for in the market and what not to look for in the market, what to expect in the market, and what we do not expect in the market. Okay, so we'll be talking about what we'll be talking about demand and supply. Okay, we'll be talking about demand and supply. So demand and supply is what it is basically the what an economic concept used by what it is used by economists to what to analyze the demand or the demand of what of any product, any good, any service in the economy. So they use this concept of what of demand and supply, right? So demand and supply is what just the study of what of relation between currently demanded versus what versus the price, right? Versus what versus the current price of what of that coin of that what of that product. Okay. So when these economics use this demand and supply, right? We've got the law of demand and the law of what supply, right? So they use this law of demand and supply, right, to know what the behavior of what of buyers and sellers, right? To know that okay, when this happens, this is what will happen from what from buyers. Guys, please mute your mic, guys, mute your mics, okay? Right. So they use this concept of what of demand and supply, right? They use this concept to what to study the behavior of what of buyers and sellers towards the price, right? So it's what this is the study of what of relation of what of buyers and sellers towards the price, right? Towards what the current price of the market. So what happens when this price goes up? What happens when this price goes down, right? So it is the study of that relation. We want to know that okay, what happens to the market when the price what falls up, right? What is the behavior of what of buyers in the market? What's the behavior of supply of what of sellers in the market, right? So demand it what it indicates buyers in the market. It's noisy here, okay? So demand indicates what it indicates buyers in the market, okay? So when you study demand, right, you want to study what the buyers in the market, the consumers, right, in the economic concept or in business concept, we're looking for what for consumers or the buyers, right? We're looking for what for buyers. But in supply, we're looking for what for the suppliers or for the producers or the sellers, right? The providers of the what of the service, okay? So we'll just jump straight into the demand cave, right? Into the demand cave. So according to demand, right? I don't know if I'm too quick, but I'll ask questions. As we go much in depth in this demand and supply. Okay. So we have the demand cave, right? So the law of demand and supply. The law of demand states that the higher the price, the lower the demand. All right. So as a buyer, right, you know that as a buyer, you don't want to buy something that is expensive, not unless you are rich and you want to buy things for luxury. But for consuming purposes or for need purposes, you won't just buy something that is expensive, right? You want to buy goods and services when things are cheap, right? So that is the law of demand, right? The higher the price, the lower the demand. The lower the price, the higher the demand. That is why on Black Friday, people they it's just crazy, right? When you go in town on the Black Friday, it's just crazy. People they want to buy, right? They want to buy because why they want to buy because the prices are what they are cheap, right? So according to the law of demand, buyers or consumers they always want to buy when the prices are cheap, right? So when these prices go up, they sell, right? Or they just neglect, right? They don't want to buy, right? They don't want to buy until this product gets cheaper. Then they want to buy. So that is the law of demand in the business concept or in the economic concept, right? So you can see here, I tried to make few drawings here, okay? Right. So what happened here is, right, okay, you can see here is what, well, this is the price, right? This quantity, right? Quantity, what quantity demanded, isn't it? So when these prices go up, right? So the supply, I mean, the quantity demanded, it decreases, right? Meaning what, the people who are interested in buying this product are now less because of what, because this thing is what, it is expensive. But the more it gets cheaper, it goes down, it goes down, it goes down, it goes down. The more what the quantity demanded, it increases. Meaning what, the more this product gets cheaper, the more the customers are attracted to to buying this product, right? Let's say maybe it's bread, right? Bread is expensive, so when prices are high, we'll just look for another alternative, for another supplement that we will replace with bread. Maybe we're looking for wheat bix and stuff, because bread is expensive. We don't want to buy bread, right? Until bread gets cheaper, then you can come to bread. That, okay, guys, now the bread is cheaper. Now we can buy bread because it's now it is now cheaper. Okay, so when this corn is when this product is expensive, we look for substitutes of this product, but you don't want to buy an expensive product. Why would you buy an expensive product when you can see their substitutes are cheaper? So that is why people they don't want to buy expensive products. That is why we hear that mostly our moms, right? They tell you that, hey, now maybe pork is expensive. So if you want to eat meat, I'll just buy maybe 5 kg of chicken portions, because they are cheaper, and we've got a lot of pieces in the package. So I'm substituting pork for chicken, right? It is still meat. So they look for substitutes and take them until this pork gets cheaper, right? So you can see here it's just the illustration, okay? We're not here. Let me just jump straight into the supply cave, right? Into the supply cave, okay? So in the supply cave, right? Remember we say demand is for what? It is for buyers. Then supply is what? It is for sellers or the producers of the product, okay? So every time when a product gets expensive, right? That means that when you sell it, you can be able to sell it expensive. So whenever product or any goods, any goods get expensive, right? It attracts more suppliers or more producers. That is why you find that maybe in a market, right, in a tuck shop, those who sell in tuck shop, what has just happened? Oh my God! Okay, so that's why you find that those who sell maybe in tuck shops in streets, right? We come into the market, right? We've got a new product that they are not selling, right? Let's say maybe you are selling fat cakes, and they haven't been selling fat cakes. So when they see the demand of these fat cakes rising rapidly, so they want they now forget about what they are selling, right? They all want to sell fat cakes, because fat cakes they've got the high demand that people want to buy these fat cakes. So, and as soon as you are raising these prices, they say that, hey, this woman is making money, right? So they want to supply more. So when the price of goods and services increase, right, the supply of that product it also increases, right? So whenever a price of a product increases, right, the supply will also increase, right? Why not increase when people are buying at expensive? When people are buying in high prices? So we just want to increase the supply, so that they can buy more and we make more money, isn't it? So they increase the supply, right? For us to keep on buying high, right? Okay. So this is how the economic concept or the business concept works on demand and supply. Okay. We've got now? We've got the equilibrium, right? The equilibrium phase or cave, right? Right. So we've got now the what? The equilibrium. Okay. So in the equilibrium, it is what? It is the point whereby now demand is equal to supply. Right. It is the point whereby now what? Now demand is equal to what? To supply. Right. So it is what? It is the midpoint, right? So in trading, we call this what? We call this area consolidation. Right. So there's no conclusion. There's nothing we can do in this coin or in this trade, right? Until we see what? Until we see a breakout to what any of these levels. Meaning what? We cannot predict anything in the point of what of equilibrium, where buyers are equal to sellers. So there's nothing we can conclude until we see a breakout showing us the power or showing us what showing us which power or which strength is what is more likely to happen in the market, right? So that's what we will be looking for. Okay. So now let me jump into the trading concept, right? Why do we use demand and why do we use supply? Okay. So since I've just said that demand is what it indicates what buyers or what it indicates what buyers or consumers, isn't it? So in the trading world, right? In the trading world, right? So we use demand as what? Okay, we use demand as what? As our point of interest when we want to buy this coin, right? So meaning what? We want to buy this coin or this token or any market. We want to buy this coin or any token or what? We want to buy it where at its cheapest value, right? We are looking for those cheapest areas in the market, and they will be our point of interest, right? So we're looking for what? We're looking for what? For those cheapest areas in the market that will be our point of interest. Because you want to what? You want to buy low, right? You want to buy cheap, right? Why would you buy when this coin is expensive? Because when this coin is expensive, it will what? It will start what? It will start selling, right? So according to the law of demand, right, you want to what? You want to buy low, right? You want to buy when the prices are what? When the prices are cheap, right? Meaning what? We're looking for what? We're looking for the point of equilibrium before the breakout to the upside, right? So as we find the point of equilibrium before the breakout to the upside, so draw that zone area or that point of equilibrium is our what? Is our demand zone, right? We want this coin to what? To come back to our point of interest or our previous equilibrium phase and show us rejections, then we take our buys based on that. Okay. Then when it comes to supply zones, right? When it comes to what to supply, right? So supply means what? It means selling, right? So this when this coin is now what? Is now what? It is now expensive, isn't it? So there are two things that happens in a supply zone, right? It is either those who bought at demand zone are selling at supply zone, right? Or number two, those who want to take their entries are now taking what? They are taking short entries or they are selling. Meaning what? They are predicting or they are foretelling that the market is more likely to what? To go down from these levels because number one, the prices are what? Are expensive and the supply is what? It is too what? It is too much, right? It is too much. So when the supply of anything is too much, is the what? The demand is what? It decreases because people they lose interest in what in that product, right? So you want to what? That is why you want to what? To take our short entries or want to sell our buy positions. Okay. So let me try to illustrate it so that I do not confuse you. Okay, so that it won't confuse you. So this is an uptrend, right? Then we have something like a what? A consolidation and a what? Okay, let me make it a consolidation. Meaning what? This was a point of equilibrium and a what? And a strong break to the upside. You can even call it what? A strong rally in price, right? So what we do is when you see something like this, right? We come back to the what? To the point of equilibrium, right? Or the consolidation, right? We come back to the what? To the point of equilibrium, and we mark this area as our what? As our zone area or as our point of interest, right? So what are we expecting right now? We want this coin to what? To come back to our point of interest, okay? I want this coin to what? To come back to my point of interest, then that is only when I can take a what? I can take a buy, because I want to buy when prices are cheap. Okay, so there are many reasons why we buy here, right? Number one is that we've got the high market influencers, right? The banks and the institutions, right? So when we see this aggressive rally in price, right? It means what? It means that at the equilibrium, right? At the equilibrium before the rally in price, they had their orders are there, right? Meaning what? They had their orders in what? In this consolidation. So studying what? Studying how these institutions and banks trade, right? They don't use all of their capital in one trade, right? In one what? In one entry. So they what? They just what? They what? They can divide into what? Into 50-50 or 25-25, right? So they don't use all of their margin in one trade. So that we know that, okay, since they push their prices around this area, maybe they what? They have their orders again around this area. So we're trying to what? To trade with these guys, with this what? With these high market influencers in the market, so that we can know that, okay, when we take their entries, our entries with them, then we are more likely to what? To win our what? Our trade. Okay. So we're looking for what? We're looking for what? For that base, for that consolidation, for that equilibrium before the strong rally in price. Right. It is not just a rally in price. We're looking for what? For that strong rally in price, that strong push to push for that what? That strong push to the upside after the point of equilibrium or consolidation. Then we mark that area as our what? As our zone area or as our point of interest. Then we want this coin to what? To come back to this area, show us rejections, then we take our what? We take our buys. Okay? So this is how we want to trade a demand zone. Right. So what I've just shown you here is a what? It is a what? A rally, a base rally. There are two different types of what? Of demand zone. Right? We've got what? We've got a continuation demand zone. We've got the what? A reversal demand zone. Right? In this case, I've shown you what? A continuation demand zone. Meaning what? This coin was what? What was trending up. Then we had what? We had this equilibrium and a strong break to the upside. Then we mark this zone area as our what? As our point of interest or as our equilibrium. Right? We believe that since these institutions and banks, they've been able to push their prices around this area. So we believe that when this coin comes into this area, it can what? It can go up again. So we have another form of what? Of demand, right? Which is a what? Which is a drop. Meaning what? When this coin was turning up, it was turning down, isn't it? Then we had a what? We had something like a what? Like a consolidation, the point of equilibrium, right? Then we have a what? A strong break, right, to the upside. So do I chase the market? Do I take a buy? Guys, the coin is going up. We're going to just kick our all-time high, guys. Hey, let us buy. No, I don't do that. Okay, I don't do that. I have my what? I have my point of equilibrium, right? Or my what? My consolidation. Okay, what am I looking for? Okay, I want this coin to what? I want this coin to what? On this market, if you're trading any market that you're trading, you want this market to what? To come back to your point of equilibrium or to your base, isn't it? You want this coin to come back to our what? To our point of interest, right? So when it comes back to our point of interest, that is when we want to check our what? We want to take our buys, because around this area, this is where these institutions they took their orders and pushed the market up. So we believe that we can come back to this area since they don't use all of their capital. They divide it into what? Into 50% or into what? Into 25-25, depending on what? On their trading strategies. So we know, okay, this is our point of interest. Right? When this coin comes into this area, we're looking for what? We are looking for buys. Okay. So let me continue. Before I just ask questions, I just want to make sure that I cover a supply. Then you can come back and ask questions. Right. Okay. So now let's move into supply. Right. Remember I said to you in supply. Right. Remember I said in supply what? I don't know what is happening with my network. Guys, can you still hear me clearly? Can you still hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you, Mpati.
Okay, great.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, let me continue. Right. So now let us move into what? Into into supply. Right. So supply zone basically is what? This is where we're looking for what? For our short entries, or want to close our buy orders. Right. So more often we find what? We find this so more often we find this supply zone where in a downtrend indicating a continuation, and also you can find it where in an uptrend indicating a reversal. Right. So what are we looking for in what? Guys, please mute your mics, guys. Please. Disturbing. It's disturbing. Okay, let me continue. Right. So say now this corner is what was trending up. Okay, and we have a consolidation, a point of equilibrium, the point of indecision. Then we have a strong drop in price. What do we do? Do we just sell right away? No, we don't sell. Right, we don't just take our entries. We don't chase the market. Oh my God, we're left with 10 minutes. Right, we don't chase the market. So what I'll do is I mark this area as my point of equilibrium, right? As my point of interest. Okay. Then I want this coin to go up, right? To go up, touch my point of interest. Then I take my short entry. Okay, I take my short entry. Same thing applies on the continuation, right? We had a drop, consolidation, right? Then a strong break, right? So do I chase the market? No, I don't chase the market. I draw this area as my zone area. Then I want this coin to come back to this area, show me rejection. Then I take a short entry, right? So I take a short entry. So okay, guys, any questions? Any questions? I wanted us to make an example, if possible. So any questions, guys? You can unmute yourself and ask before I delete all this and we make one example. Then I close. So any question? Okay, no questions. Okay, let me answer. Let me read all this. Okay.
You were saying something about
okay. Please write on the chat box. Your network is not okay. Please write on the chat box. Comment on the chat box. Then I'll get back to you. Okay. The network is not good. Right. So I'll delete this, guys. Meanwhile, you'll be writing on the chat box and let me know about your questions. Okay. So I want to do this. Right. Okay. I don't know if I can do this. Okay. Let us try and see if it's possible that we do this. Okay, guys, can you still see my screen? Please confirm if you can still see my screen. So that
I can see your screen.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, right. So look at this, right? We had a nice uptrend. The market is turning up, and we have this unusual rally in price, right? Unusual rally in price. So what I'll do is I'm looking for this area, right? I'm looking for this area. This is my consolidation, isn't it? So I just mark this area as my point of equilibrium, right? I mark this area as my point of equilibrium. I want this coin to come back to these levels, show me rejections. Then I take my I take my buy, right? So let us see what happened, right? Okay, let me pause here. Right, let me pause here. So you can see now that when we follow this market, even here with this consolidation and a stronger than twice. So what I'll do is I'll also mark this area as my zone area. Right. I'll also mark this area as my zone area. Because I believe that maybe around this area we might reject, isn't it? So I have this belief that okay, maybe around this area we might reject. So I mark this area as my zone area. Okay. So let's see what happened. Right. Let's see what happened. We're looking for this unusual rally in price when we mark it as our zone area. Right. So let's see. Okay. Oh, that was quick, guys. So you could have taken your entry here, but that was quick. We are late. I don't know. So let us continue. So you could have taken your entry right there, right? You could have taken your entry right there, and also we have this supply zone around this area. So you can see how we are rejecting this area. So what I can do is I can just take my short entry as soon as I see this weak rejection. Take my short entry, and I target I target this swing low, right? This swing low. Or you can even choose that, okay, I want to risk it all, guys. I want to risk it all because of the supply. I want this coin to come into this area. That is where I want to That is where I want to take my buy entry, right? Let's see if you take it like this. Let us see if you could have won, right? If you could have won this trade, let us see. Let us see what happened. Let us see what happened. Right. So you can see it is refusing to hit our take profit. This coin is double. Okay, that's it, right? That means you could have won this trade, right? I just take a supply zone. You just take your trade based on this supply zone, isn't it? I can draw it as a zone area, right? We have this supply zone around this area, right? So we take this area as our point of interest, isn't it? So I want this coin to come back to this area, show us rejections. So you can see how we show those weak rejections around this area. So what I do is I take my entry, and you could have made how much? That is how much. This is 60%, isn't it? On spot, okay? So you could have made that amount of money, right? So same thing applies here, right? You can see now we have this rejection around this area. So I just take my buy, right? This is my demand zone. I've marked this area as my demand zone. I take my buy. So I'll target I'll target the swing low around this area. They know why. I won't explain why, okay? Those who trade with us, they know why, okay? So I'll target this area. You can choose maybe to take even this supply zone. Let us see if you took this supply zone. But normally for me, I'll take that swing low. But let's say maybe we target this area. Let's see if you could have made profit if you target this area. But normally I'll target this low. So let us see what happens. Okay, let me adjust my stop loss. It's too tight. Okay. So let us see. This coin is double. Okay. You keep on holding, right? So guys, the market will never just go straight up, right? Yes, it does go up straight up, but not all of the time. So my TP is it is already hit, guys. As for me, my TP is my TP is already hit around this area, because I know that according to market structure, right, these coins sometimes they do respect these areas. So I won't just take a risk and choose to hold this trade up to this area. So as soon as I see these rejections, I will just say, okay, guys, I'm good. I'm taking my profit, right? Because also of maybe this rejection they can But let us see if you are stubborn and you want to hold. Let us see if you could have won this trade. Okay, guys. So you see how we fail to win this trade, isn't it? We fail to win this trade, even if you can adjust it like this. Say maybe you take the week, it's still fails. So you fail to win this trade. You fail to hit this profit. Because of this, you can also take profit, guys. Why hold a trade when you can see a straight supply like this? why do you want to take a trade? But because I can mark this area as my what, as my supply zone, and now I want to see how this phone responds to this area. Okay. So why would you take your what? Why would you take your buy entry when the market is like this? Right, you can see how the market. Okay, so guys, we're running out of time. Okay, let me just stop here, and I take questions. So I'll just stop share, and I take questions, guys. Any questions? Just unmute yourself and ask any questions. I know I was too fast today, but we will continue next week. Next week we'll have another Zoom meeting based on demand and supply. So you can ask any question if possible. Guys, you don't have time, you can unmute yourself if you've got any question. Okay, there are no questions then. There are no questions. That means, guys, you understood